Huzzah, Rangers! This is Phil Harris here at the Jacks Rangers. So, the Bozo 6 intro, that's the first time I've ever played that one, and now I know why. Dave, how the hell are you?
Pretty good. Remember that time Bozo cursed every underperforming East team?
Yes, then that was beautiful in the moment, but I remember why I did not play that one prior to this moment. Yeah, bye week is over. I'm fully rested and recovered, as I'm hoping all of our free jacks are. Let's get right into the sponsor first, though, as we do on every single episode of the Jacks Ranger Show. This episode is sponsored by Inkify. Custom printing and embroidery since 2010, Inkify provides high-quality, decorated apparel nationwide. From ordering the apparel to printing, adding a private label, folding, bagging, and fulfillment, they do it all, so you don't have to. Check out Inkify.com to get started on your order. Let Carlos know that you want to make a deal, and you'll get 15% off as long as you mention TJRS. If you're a person that needs t-shirts, embroidery, patches, you're a nonprofit, you're a business, a small business, big business, they do it all at Inkify. I just saw that they did a run of WNBA shirts. They've had a partnership with them for 8 years. They work with the Bruins, they work with the Revolution, they work with the Patriots, they work with everybody, including our Free Jacks. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you too. And it is Baby Shark Week, everybody. Here it is. I've been waiting on this one for a while. I will say this about the Sharks. Great logo, great branding. It's on brand for the Miami area. You know, you think of beaches, you think of ocean, you think of sharks. They nailed it. They didn't overthink it, and they didn't make it too, outrageous. They just absolutely embrace that branding, and it's really good. I like it a lot. Let's talk about the bye week, Dave. What did you get up to?
I went down to Connecticut, visited some family.
Nice.
It was nice to have a week off. Yeah, long weekend. Enjoyed the holiday. How about you?
I was actually down in Connecticut as well. This was on
Hey.
Saturday. I went down to New Haven, Connecticut. You know, a lot of people consider that the pizza capital of the world. You've got Pepe's there, you've got Sally's there. I waited in line with Miss TJRS for about 2 hours. It seemed, maybe a little bit less than that. I'm being dramatic, probably. To experience Sally's, and it was pretty good. You know, I'm not a big thin pizza guy. That's what they're known for. Their thin, crispy pizza. I thought it needed a little bit more cheese personally, but I think I gave it like a 8.5 out of 10. It's really good. I recommend anybody to go down there and experience. I think it's Worcester Street there. Pepe's and Sally's is on the same street. Go check it out. Definitely worth the trip. And I would say also, you know, just a great time there. I was surprised. Everybody, I think most people would rank Connecticut the dead last in terms of New England states, but I enjoyed my time there. We went to Bridgeport to see the Islanders play my Checkers. Didn't turn out so well for the Checkers, but we also went to Albany twice over the weekend and saw my Gamecocks advance to the Final Four, which was fantastic. But yeah, just keeping sports, you know, right in the front as I always try to do with my other sports, but missed the Free Jacks, of course, and we saw all of our Free Jacks players either up in New Hampshire. I think Cam his family has a house there in New Hampshire. They were loving that, some of the players, and then a lot of them were down in New York City, which was awesome too. You know, and again, if they're posting stuff on their story, they're getting a vomit emoji from me if they're posting about New York. So I just have to keep it real, man. I think I've done that every single year that happens. So yeah, not
keep the rivalry alive.
Exactly. You got to keep the rivalry alive, even though New York no longer exists. Rest in pieces to them. Yeah. And yeah, that was it. But it's Baby Shark Week, everybody. Chomp, 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 chomp. Do. Exactly. Let's talk about the standings really quick here. Let me pull that up.
Those are fun to look at.
Sure, why not? Taking a quick look at the standings, your mighty New England Free Jacks are currently holding strong in first place, despite not playing, over the weekend. They have, let's see here, 15 total table points, a point differential of 43. Miami are in fifth place with 7 total table points, just above Whipping Boy Healthcare RFC. We wish them well. A point differential of -2 for Miami, which is higher than Chicago and DC, who are in fourth and third, respectively. And as soon as I think of that, I think, well, they can score some points, right? That's
Yeah.
the first initial thought, is that Miami has a good attack. When I consider, even though that they're behind in the standings, they have a higher point differential, which is interesting. I did want to mention Colonel Kitty wanted me to remind everybody we obviously have a a home game this weekend. On Saturday, bring gift cards if you're interested. So, obviously, at the beginning of the season, or prior to the season, I should say, the past 2 seasons, as the booster club element wing, if you will, of the First Regiment, have donated or had people donate to a GoFundMe that was able to provide some household essentials to the players. And we're doing something started by Ranger Cindy, who listens to this show. Cindy, hi, if you're listening. We're doing gift cards throughout the season. So there's Operation Gift Card Drop. It supports our players, during the season. And from now until the end of the season, you can bring a gift card. Make sure you bring your receipt as well, and you'll be entered into a drawing for a signed team jersey at the end of the season, which is really, really cool. Former and current Free Jacks on Miami's roster. Miami has 2 former Free Jacks, Stan Vandenhoven and 8-man Tomas Caceres, as well as a current Free Jack who has been loaned to Miami for up to 10 weeks, Taveta Soleil. All of these guys are friends of the show, and we're very happy to see them, getting game time down there in Miami. We just hope that they don't play very well if they're selected against the Jacks. We like them, but we want to see our Free Jacks win, obviously. Could any of these guys have an impact in the game if selected, Dave? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, possibly. I think one of the stories with Miami is that their roster, when you look at them in terms of like a season preview,
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Their first choice players in a lot of positions are really good.
Yes.
The problem is that once you start scratching away at that, you find that their depth is not so solid, which is why they have, for example, been loaned to Vita Sole. Like, he's a solid tight head. They need a tight head because one of their props was injured, and it left them in a position where like they were really short in terms of depth. So it's likely that we'll see some of these guys getting some game time. I don't know the rehab. I mean, we don't always have good information anyway, so you have to follow pretty closely to kind of try to track injuries and stuff. It's not like we get official team medical reports at every team or anything. So they have had some injuries recently. A number of players haven't been in. One of their biggest players, Thomas Cabelli, has not played yet. He's an Argentinian scrum half. He's got 89 caps. One of only 23 Argentinians ever to beat the All Blacks.
Wow.
Right? He was part of that famous victory. That's a pretty good resume. Just got to get
really
him
good
out there on the field, right? So when those guys are present, Miami has the potential to be a really, really serious team. But they also are a team that are getting some opportunities for guys like Thomas Caceres and Tavita Sole, younger guys. Stan Vandenhoven is, I wouldn't put him quite in the same category as those guys. He's a little more experienced,
Correct.
More of a known entity and a really solid player, but former Free Jack, friend of the show.
Absolutely.
Like you said. And yeah, I think hopefully we'll see some of those guys out there. I mean, it's one of the nice things about Miami is getting to see some of those players like that cut their teeth. And it's great to have, Caceres is there. Who's he backing up? Oh, Ben Benasso. Pretty
good player. Yeah.
Pretty good player.
USA
a guy,
Eagle. Yeah.
yeah, USA Eagle. Somebody who plagued a little bit with injury problems in his career. But when he was healthy, really excellent and a really solid player. So it's good to see that those guys are getting some experience. on that team. I don't know
Yeah.
who's going to feature this week. I don't know. I'm really one of my notes says like I'm really curious to see this roster. Like I
Yeah.
really can't wait to see who Miami is actually bringing to Quincy because it's going to be that's a big part of the story kind of.
Totally.
So we'll have our eyes peeled on the socials as the week progresses and see.
It was interesting that I think like a day after Tavetta was announced as being loaned to Miami, he immediately is in the 23. That's
Yeah,
encouraging for him,
yeah,
for sure. Because if you're loaning a guy, they're I wouldn't say buried on the depth chart, but they're lower than starting and being in the 23, and you want them to get valuable minutes elsewhere. So I mean that's kind of the plan, right? Like you get this guy out there, and hopefully he's going to be playing, and it looks like he was at least last week able to be in the 23. So yeah, super excited for them. I would also say that Stan Vandenhoven is a bit more experienced than the other two, a bit older, but also he's one of those guys like you can't teach height, man. I
yeah.
kind of wish that he was back with us because he's a huge target at the lineout. He was
Well, and
not playing in the 23 last week. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
What you saying?
I was just gonna say Brian Ray called him a line out disruptor, which is
100%.
yeah, pretty apt description.
Mm-hmm.
They also
Absolutely.
have Rick Rose, the #1 draft pick this
That's
year,
right.
right?
Yep.
Another lock.
Yep.
I think he just got his first. I want to say he got his first start last week against San Diego.
Okay.
He's been playing some, and I think just got into the starting slot there. So
Good for him.
yeah, good for him. That's great. That's great. Last year we saw a certain lock down in Dallas, right?
That's right. Yep.
Take rookie of the year
And got
honors.
some Eagles appearances as well from that,
Yeah,
so which is awesome. Good
yeah.
for
So
them. Yep. Let's talk about Miami real quick. Miami has one win in 5 games so far this season against lowly Healthcare RFC. We wish them well. It's to be expected, at least in my opinion. It's a new franchise. We have seen that the struggles of new teams within this league. They have some good players, as you've mentioned. There's definitely a Spanish-speaking connection with a lot of the players down there, which makes sense from a marketing perspective. And listen, South American rugby players are damn good at playing rugby. Argentina would beat the brakes off of USA right now if they were to play a game. I can't quite tell if this is they need longer to gel Chicago situation, or is there good players, but it's just too much of a talent gap, as you're saying, a depth issue, compared to other established clubs. In other words, are they Jaws that needs a taste of human flesh to get the frenzy going, or are they just Baby Shark? Um, you
I
know,
like that. That's a good.
oh, but by the way, San Diego had to wake up and score 17 unanswered points to crawl back and win last week down in Miami.
Yeah,
So
22-21.
22 to
That's
21. I mean,
that's a very close game.
that's a 1 point victory
Yep.
for those keeping score at home. Are we going to need a bigger boat, Dave? Is that what the
We might.
situation?
They're
Yeah,
they're gonna come up here pumped,
of
right? Like
course.
they're gonna be mad
Yeah.
that they dropped that game against San Diego. It was
Hmm.
very winnable for them. Felipe Echeverri, their fly half. He's Uruguayan. He's got 20 caps. His kicking was just off. He missed like kick after kick. He just has to make one of those kicks, and they
Mm.
beat San Diego,
Which would have been a
right?
huge upset.
Would have been a
Huge.
huge upset. And I think I honestly might be a little less scared of them if they had beaten San Diego because they'd be confident, but they wouldn't be as mad. I
Right.
think they're going to come up here pissed off.
Mm.
And I mean, I think they're still going to be very beatable, but I think that they're really going to bring it. I definitely took the bait a little bit in the off season with their
Yeah.
roster coming out. I've been kind of hot on Miami, and they've underperformed
Hmm.
a little so far.
Sure.
Only picking up that one win against the Anthem. Depth, which I had failed to predict really as a problem. Like I
Mm.
said, I got conned by the razzle dazzle
Right.
maybe of some of those big signings.
Sure.
Kubeli and Echeverry, and there were rumors they were going to get some other players
Mm.
who ended up going to Japan, but I think the potential's still there. Echeverry's kicking is really good. I mean, as many kicks as he missed in that San Diego game, which was a lot,
Mm-hmm.
the reason they were in it was his tactical kicking.
Sure.
He's got almost 2,200 meters, kicking meters this season. That's
Whoa,
like 25% more than the guy in second place,
that's crazy, man.
right? He is, I think, second for points scored in the league.
Hmm.
Um, just on conversions, it was weird that he missed so much last week. He's normally a very solid kicker.
And 2 weeks
Um,
ago, he was MLR Player of the Week. Is that right? Am I thinking of the same guy?
I believe that's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That performance against Anthem, yeah.
he's been pretty solid. So I mean, he's going to be looking to right the ship as they come up here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be an interesting tactical battle in that we know the Free Jacks are very difficult to kick to. Jason Patros is a really excellent tactical kicker. So in terms of us kicking, often if you kick to a team, they may just kick it right back. And if we kick it right back, we got Potty doing it, and he's
Yep.
he's pretty good at that.
Pretty good.
The rest of our back three are no schmucks either when it comes to kicking. Reese McDonald has an excellent boot in
Yes, he does.
particular, and he also is an incredible kick return threat. So it's pretty hard. We saw Chicago running through a lot of phases because they didn't really want to
Mm-hmm.
kick to us for a while, and then eventually they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of had to acknowledge, all right, we are going to have to kick at some points. And I don't think Miami will be afraid to kick to us. I think they're going to back themselves in their game plan, and that's one of their strengths is that tactical kicking. I could be wrong. Maybe we see them come in and try something different, but I don't think they really have like the forward beef to
Right.
say like, we're just gonna break you in half. One of the
Ground and
bigger-
pound.
right, ground and pound. They are, I think, a little bit more of a flair, kick type team.
Mm-hmm.
There, a big question mark is Ronaldo Piusi, who is a young, I think he's like 24, tight head, Uruguayan. He is a big unit. He's like 6'4", which is pretty tall for a tight head, and
Yeah.
he's a stout lad. He was hurt last week, which is one of the reasons that we saw Tavita in the lineup. If he's
Sure.
healthy, he'll be out there. He's somebody I'm really hoping. I hope he comes up and makes the trip. Even though it would help Miami a little bit, but I'm enough of a dork that I just want to see this guy in the flesh.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. They're going to be a fun team. I still back the Free Jacks for sure, but I do think that they are. I think they're a fun team to watch. The Miami games that I've seen, they are willing to take some risks. They'll put it up and just challenge you for the ball. And I'm hoping that gives us a pretty spectacular day of rugby on Saturday.
Listen, it should be a great time. I think some rain in the forecast. Hopefully that doesn't stick and it's sunny. But if it's not, we're going to be there regardless. It's going to be Yacht Rock weekend, so I'm
That's
excited
right.
for the festival. Let
We
me
got
actually.
the Buoys of Summer playing
Boys
the
of Summer,
pregame.
yeah, they did a great job last year. I'm glad that they were invited back for the festivities there. Pre-game, let me see. I'm
They
trying
got
to. Yep, go ahead.
I was going to say the Monumental 7 starts at like 8 a.m., I think.
I know, that's so exciting.
So it's included in your ticket. This is a National Collegiate Rugby Championship qualifier, guys. This is like a big deal tournament. Teams are going to be coming from all over the country.
7:30 a.m., Dave. It's the start. That's an early day for those folks. NCR Monumental Sevens tournament. Yeah, that the winner gets an automatic bid, as you're saying, down there to nationals. Very, very excited for that, and it's good. It's good rugby. I mean, if you like sevens, you should definitely check that out. Looks like Hot Smoke Barbecue is going to be there at 12:30. Bars open at 12:30 as well. 2 p.m. Explorers Kids Club opens. 2:30. The Froze Fest. That's an additional ticket is required for that, of course. 3 p.m. Bowies of Summer is playing live from the fan zone, and then of course 4:30. Free Jacks take on Miami Sharks. I've got the press release from our Free Jacks here. Come sail away as the headline. Spring is here, and we're ready to rock out on the open ocean. Join us at Veterans Memorial Stadium for the Free Jacks Yacht Rock Festival. A can't miss epic party filled with feel good vibes, great drinks, smooth dancing, and dreamy costumes. What more of excuse do you need to catch up with friends, old and new? Grab a slushy glass of blended rosé from the Rosé Fest, Froze, while rocking out to the high energy and masterful nostalgic gems from the Yacht Club band Boys of Summer. Sail your way to the field to watch the New England Free Jacks take on new kids on the block, the Miami Sharks, in a first ever MLR clash. And it's great that they were able to coordinate yacht rock with the Sharks. Pretty cool. You got the festival poster is a 10 out of 10. You got the ship in the background. You've got what appears to be a siren on a rock, and then you got the lighthouse in the background. Just fantastic work from our friends at the Free Jacks. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. Are you going to be wearing any captain gear?
Yeah, I think we still got some stuff kicking around from the
There you go.
last Yacht Rock Festival. I got to pull the bin up from the basement a little later on, but we'll be having a good time. I got a full day of rugby in store. Charles Rivers playing against Albany. Albany? Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
bootleggers? Yeah.
And the Nerfu D3 final. I think it's the final, might be semifinal, but it's playoffs rugby. So I get to go watch Charles River in some playoffs rugby, Moakley Park in South Boston. If you're bored and want something to do before the Free Jacks, if you'd rather watch some Club 15s instead of College 7s, come on out. But we'll have a pretty good time. Hopefully see my club team score a playoff win in the morning, and then I'll boogie on down to Quincy.
Love that.
Watch the Free Jacks pick up a win. I'm looking forward to it. Reffing again on Sunday. I'm reffing a high school game tomorrow. It's a rugby week for me, baby.
That's good. I'm happy for you. This is great. I love that you're doing the reffing, and that obviously helps with watching the games as well. You got you're all squared away with the laws. It's fresh in your mind. So yeah, that's awesome.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
In theory, yeah,
In
absolutely.
theory, yes.
Know them all.
Exactly.
Backwards and forwards.
Yes, sir. I did want to mention that Broccoli Guy is going to be making an appearance. His annual trek, pilgrimage, if you will, to Fort Quincy is happening this weekend, this Saturday, for the Yacht Rock Festival. Broccoli Guy, the iconic Seattle sports master, if you will, the best dancer of broccoli that I'm aware of, is going to be at Fort Quincy. So I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, welcome all challengers. If you got a spicy head of cauliflower and you want to take on the king, come on down to Fort Quincy this weekend. But I got to warn you, you come for him, you're going to get rocked.
He's a Jedi master of dancing with vegetables. So there you go. Key to the game here. I'm going to go first. Set piece slaughter is my key to the game. We've talked about how we've been underwhelmed with the set piece performance this season. Coming off of a bye week, I want to see domination in the scrums and lineouts. I want to see well-executed plays that lead to tries. If we cannot correct some of our nagging issues here, the result, if we can do that, the result should take care of itself. And if we can't, we might see a closer game. I do anticipate this to be a win. Shocking, but it might be closer within that 60-minute mark, and then our substitutes come on, and then theirs come on, and there should be a big talent gap there. But that's my key to the game. Set piece slaughter.
Love it. I went with kicking systems.
Okay.
We've seen some really good tactical kicking, like I mentioned already. We've seen really efficient rotations with the back three and the fly half covering that area. They got a lot of real estate to cover. And it's worked really well. I don't see any problems with that. I really like your key. I think you're right that the bye week gives us an opportunity to really tune things up in that set piece, and that I think it's reasonable to expect a better performance this week in those areas. But yeah, my key, I think Miami's going to kick a lot. I think we just need our kicking systems to work. We need to be able to field those kicks, follow our game plan, boot the ball back down, let Reese, maybe Paula, Mitch, whoever go on a little bit of a jag. And we'll see how it goes. We didn't even talk about returning players. We got LaRue Milan,
Yeah,
unlikely, but maybe in the 23.
potentially.
Potentially available for selection. We should put it that way. We don't
Yes.
know anything about the behind the scenes, but the team has said that he's wrapping up his return to play and
Hmm.
will be available again in short order. Didn't give a totally specific timeline, but this is about when we were hoping we could see him. And Mitch Jacobson
That's
back
right.
from some paternity leave,
Hmm.
and excited to see him joining our back three. So we got some reinforcements coming for the old Jacks. I think things are looking to us.
Absolutely. And it was interesting in TK's statement, he referred to Mitch Jacobson as skipper, which of course he was in the
Hmm.
absence of Josh last season due to Josh being having that season-ending injury in week 2. Interesting that he referred to him as skipper once again. I'm not saying that there's drama or anything like that. It's just a very interesting statement put out by TK. Anywho, let's move over to predictions. And I'll let you go first.
I went 32-19. I think it's going
Wow.
to be, I think both of these teams are going to score. I think the Free Jacks have proven to be a pretty high scoring team. We got the highest point differential in the league as well. So I think we will score, and I think the gap will be comfortable. I do think it'll be a good game, though. I don't think we're talking about like a big runaway and they barely score. Um, you know,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good show, nice spectacle.
Listen, I absolutely agree with you. For my key to the game, or excuse me, for my prediction rather, you know how you reestablish a fortress, you keep defending it. That's how you reestablish
Mm,
it. The Free Jacks have a better roster than Miami. There is no doubt in my mind in regards to that. We're also coming off of a bye week, right? Guys should be well rested. Scott, Matthew, and company will have a lot of time. Will have had a lot of time to figure out how to rifle these upstarts. Okay, as we've talked about, this Free Jacks team isn't perfect, but if they can continue to course correct in some of these issues, I think we can. I think we'll be saying "Smile, you son of a bitch" at the end of the game. A lot of Jaws references in this episode, folks.
I like it. I like it.
At
Where's
the
Scott
final,
Ferreira when you need him?
exactly. Yeah, that guy loves Jaws. He loves Jaws like I love the Free Jacks, which is a lot. All right, for me, Miami 23, New England 33. I think we're pretty close with the New England score there, but I think Miami's going to put up a little bit more of a fight. And again, they should be pissed off that they gave up a 17-point lead and then lost that by 1 point, and it would have been a huge upset down there at their house. If they don't show up pissed off, then they've got a lot more problems than just losing to the Free Jacks this weekend. So I expect
Yeah.
them to put up a fight. I expect it to be relatively close up until about the 60th minute. And then, like I said, you're seeing it, I'm saying it. The depth on this team is ridiculous, and it will outpace Miami and certain clubs within this conference. We're just better than them, top to bottom in the 23. So, yeah, that
Yeah.
is what I have. And any closing thoughts on the upcoming game?
No, if I was clever, I'd have a great Jaws line to give you right here, but I don't.
All right. I'm trying to think of one on the spot here. Oh boy.
Rapidly
Uh,
Googling most famous lines in Jaws. You
well,
already did the bigger boat. I don't know
yeah,
what
we've
else
already
to
said the bigger
say.
boat, right? So, what is it? What's the song that they sing? Tired and I wanna go home.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good one. All right.
There we go.
Well, with
We'll
that
add it
being
to the
said,
First Regiment.
yeah, exactly.
We'll sing it against the Sharks.
Yeah, maybe we can get a done. What? But I don't know if we
That's like
can do
their thing,
that.
though,
Yeah, that
right?
would be
That
their
that that
thing, right?
that would hype them up. I don't know.
We just
We
sing
sing the
Baby
song
Shark.
because they kill the shark, right? Like it's the
Exactly.
song that the people who kill the shark in Jaws sing. So we
Exactly.
can sing that. But the
Yes.
dada is the shark's music. We don't do
Right.
the dadas.
No. But we can do the Baby Shark one to get in their heads.
That's
So,
true. That's true. I think they do it there though.
do they
I
really?
think they have. I think I saw somebody talking about it who went to one of the games. If I remember right, I think they're doing it like I mean, it's like ironic, but
Yes.
I mean, it's also clever. Everybody's gonna do it. It's it's an earworm. It gets in your head, and you're like, da
Yes.
da 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 da. Yeah, baby shark. God,
Hmm.
thanks. Now it's the next 12 hours of my life. Can you tell I
No
have
doubt.
children?
Yeah, but you know,
We baby sharked a lot.
yeah,
There was
I'm
a
sure
lot
you
of
guys
baby shark.
sharking. Yep,
That old pink fawn.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a cool logo. It's a little clip arty, but I mean, it's exactly what it says on the box, right?
No,
Here it is.
it's
Here's a shark.
great. Like you said,
Yep.
their design's great. They're
Yep.
they're a really well branded team. The colors
Agreed.
pop. They work for the city.
Same.
The shark is nice.
Yeah.
It's got a good shape. You know, it's not like
Oh
all
yeah.
long and weird.
Yeah.
They got a good design going. Too bad we're gonna put them to the sword this weekend.
Absolutely.
But,
We
it has
have
to be
to.
done.
Has to be done. Has to be done. 100%. And with that being said, yes, with that being said, I've got one word to exit the video in 3, 2, 1. Huzzah!
Huzzah!